welcome to the Motor Madness Monster Jam. Hi, everybody. I'm Dan Moriarty.
Who's Dan Moriarty?
Coming to you again from the Astrodome in great Houston, Texas. Now, if you missed last week, you know we moved pretty fast. So this week, you'll see last week's Monster Truck Finals. Also, some Dragster tractor pullers. I also saw around here some side-by-side sand drags. You know what else? I'm telling you, I'm not sure where they are, but I saw some lawnmower drag races. What is that all about? I swear to you, lawnmower drag races. So kick back, sit down, you're gonna love this stuff. Now, if you missed last week, I'm sorry about that, but here's an update on what happened. Crashes galore, things being crunched out there. Cool. All right, let's go to the guys in the booth. Mike Hogwood and Scott Douglas. How you doing, guys?
Dan, like you, we're doing great and fired up for another night of Monster Jam. As Dan said, I'm Mike Hogwood, along with Scott Douglas. We'll be calling the action tonight. We've got some great semi-final runs coming up in the monster trucks. How about Bulldozer going up against Gravedigger?
One of the all-time legends, the Gravedigger, will try and knock off one of the real new kids on the block, the impressive Bulldozer. That ought to be a dandy. In our first semifinal, Monster Patrol and Barefoot will be a war.
Yeah, and that war is coming up next on TNN's Motor Madness Monster Jam. Get ready for some semifinal runs. Monster Jam, and we're getting ready for the semifinals. There are our matchups. This first semifinal, Scott's going to be a great one.
It's going to be a dandy. Tom Mintz brings the Monster Patrol to the starting line out of Paxton, Illinois. The big Chevrolet will square off against that powerful Dodge, and as you saw last week, Todd Frolic can make Barefoot fly, especially on the second half of this race course. This is going to be a great matchup. The winner goes to the finals.
It's really hard to pick who would be a favorite in this, I think.
No, I mean, it's an absolute toss-up. Here we go. Showtime. Good start by Barefoot, and he's stronger on the second half of the course.
And again, we're on this U course, so that turn is very important, and they are in a dead heat. Who wins? It's pretty tough to tell there.
It is, but the word coming down is that the win goes to Barefoot. I think we're going to get another look at it in a moment because it had to be a photo finish. Barefoot and Monster Patrol actually crossed the finish line at virtually the same time. I mean, this is hundredths of a second separation.
I was going to say, if you could see Barefoot winning, you got a lot better eyes than I got. Man, that was as close as they can. Look at the hands going up in the air by Tom Mintz. He doesn't understand who won. Watch now on the replay as they come down the home stretch, dead even as they're in the air.
They take your pick. I mean, throw a blanket over them. They came across together. Another angle, and Barefoot, again, it's that momentum he gets flying through the air that it looks like right at the finish gave him just maybe a 6-inch victory.
Wow. I was right. Heartbreak for Monster Patrol, but Todd Frolic in Barefoot looks pretty strong. Well, Dan Moriarty's trying to catch up with Todd Frolic. He has him now, so let's go down to Dan Moriarty.
Todd, one more time over the jumps. You're going sky high.
Yeah, we're getting some pretty good air out there. A lot of people don't know, but Monster Patrol and Barefoot are from the same team, so that was a good race. Tom's got a sick motor tonight, but I still got it.
You got him right in midair.
In midair. I seen him come around that corner, he took me, and I'm like, man, I got to do it again from behind, so maybe maybe we'll come from behind one more time.
You care who you meet in the final?
I'd like to meet Digger.
Bingo.
Well, what a run by Barefoot, and there is Digger, who he was talking about.
Now, Todd, be careful what you wish for, because you just may get it. Pablo Huffaker pulls to the line against Guy Wood in the Bulldozer. By the way, when they officially ran those times, 9.04 for Barefoot in that last round was the fastest run of the entire event.
Let's see what Gravedigger can do as they come off the line. And at the start, Gravedigger looks pretty strong, but Bulldozer keeping right up. Who's got the horsepower? It's going to be Gravedigger.
You know, the Dennis Anderson-based Gravedigger team always prides itself on being able to adapt to any course, and driver Pablo Huffaker has really taken to this course. I mean, start to finish, he's looked the best of any of the trucks.
Got through the turn well and then showed that great horsepower down the home stretch to pull away and really win rather easily. So it'll be Gravedigger and Barefoot in the finals. Pablo Huffaker, as we look at it again. Here comes Pablo down the stretch, and you can see the horsepower as he's up in the air. Let's go down to Dan Moriarty.
Pablo, you're in the finals.
Hey, great. I like to see that. Hopefully we can get another run like we did there. Truck's making a lot of ground sting when I pull high gear coming out of that turn. I'm ready to give Tom a run for his money.
I'm telling you, Todd said, I hope Digger wins this one. I want to meet him in the final.
Who am I running? Todd with Barefoot? Oh, man, I hate to have to take him out in the finals.
He just told me before you ran, he was hoping it was you.
Well, that's good. I like racing Todd. He's really competitive. I'll tell you what, though, his big Hemi in that truck's tough to hang with. We get into that turn at the same time, it could be bad.
He's gone 3 rounds beating guys on the jump is where he won those races all 3 times in the air.
Is he getting them on the finish? Maybe I can get him over the first set and race him over the finish.
All right, we've got a great final set up, and we're at the Astrodome in Houston, Texas. Mike Hawkwood and Scott Douglas, and we're getting ready for Dragster Tractors. Boy, this is something to see who is the strongest.
No question about it. You talk about just pure, awesome, raw power, multi-engine Dragster tractors. And here we go with Doug Downs out of Taylorsville, Illinois, in the Predator. That was an outstanding pull all the way to the end, although quite a bit of smoke at the end of it.
Yeah, he burned that engine pretty good, too. Doug Downs in Predator. Pretty decent run, and let's take a look at it again.
Really gets it, doesn't get those front wheels too high. That's critical to keep that weight balanced, and really touches it down nicely. The other thing, you saw no wiggle and wagging in the run. It was perfectly straight. That's what you want to do. Find a good line in this track, and then just keep her nice and straight and get the power to the ground.
Here's Rodney Martin with the Martin brothers out of Bonnie, Illinois. See the eyes and the focus that he has.
Anytime Rodney gets his hand on that throttle, he's a threat to win. One of the strongest year in and year out, the Martin brothers machine, and here he goes. Oh, that's sweet. This is a super run, Mike. Right to the edge and the end of the track. Look at that, 304 feet and change.
Wow, Rodney Martin so far looks like the guy to beat in this event. Let's take a look at it again, and you will see the power, and again, the great run over 304 feet.
Just so much power gets to those huge back wheels, and it's critical that you come off that line, just kind of ease that throttle, and then continue. You watch the hand of the driver, and they'll really push it through the run.
This is one bad bear. His name is Dave Richardson, and he's got a mark to beat that was just set by Rodney Martin. We'll see if he has the power in that machine to do it. Again,
good old boys out of Litchfield, Kentucky. An awful lot of great pullers over the years come out of the Commonwealth of Kentucky, and Dave with the Kodiak team, just another one. Now there he's got his hand. Now watch, he's going to want to ease that throttle at the start, because if you hit it too hard, you'll just spin those wheels and you'll lose a lot of distance by the time you get to the end of the run. Very important to get off the line smooth and get all that weight moving with you. Here he goes. Oh, that's well short. Well short.
Not near the mark set so far by Rodney Martin. That's only a little over 241 feet. Just didn't have the power, as you see, and although he was trying not to spin those wheels, they had pretty good spin there when they started.
You know, the 5 engines, it looks like there's smoke coming off at least one of them. And another thing is you've got to get that front end raising up a little bit. You don't want it getting too high, but all 4 wheels of his stayed on the ground the whole time. That's not a good sign for a lot of distance either.
Backing up to hook onto the sled is Tom Bollinger. It's called the Money Pit. He's hoping to make maybe a little bit of money here, and I hope that engine holds together. And so far, Rodney Martin has set the mark to beat, and it's not going to be easy. So there's a lot of focus and concentration. Bollinger wants to make sure he gets started just right.
Stonington, Illinois, the home base for the Money Pit team. Bollinger, to get up with the big boys, is going to have to get around that 300-foot mark.
Looks like he gets a pretty good start, and those front wheels are up in the air. But he, too, is going to be short.
Yeah, just nothing on the back end for some reason there. When he kind of got it going, it just kind of all phased out on him at the 248 mark. We'll get another look at it. Did not see any problem coming off the start. It looked like he got a nice break, but just never really had a lot of momentum generated. And as that transfer case comes up, once those weights slap all the way to the back, you're not going a whole heck of a lot farther.
Yeah, it's over. So
it drops that pan down, and you're just not going any further.
A little bit of a disappointment for Tom Bollinger. Next up, the Texas Bullwhip. A lot of fans here in the Astrodome. His name is Don Nelson.
Gotta love that name, Texas Bullwhip.
I love the way this tractor looks.
Problem with it is there's only 2 engines, as you'll see, and he is a bit underpowered against some of the guys that he's going up against. But I'll tell you, this big Texan's going to try and give it his best shot right here, and I'm sure he's got a lot of fans in the stands here in the Astrodome. Let's see how he can do it. You know, he may think that, hey, 2 great engines are better than 4 mediocre ones. Let's let her go.
Already a little smoke pouring out of some of those engines. We'll see what the Texas Bullwhip can do running down this track.
It just takes so much horsepower to get that thing down and get this sled down, and it'll be interesting to see where he can go with the 2-engine combination. All right, he is now taking the slack out of the chain, and he'll get the green flag and get ready to hit it in the Astrodome.
Boy, those back wheels really spinning.
This doesn't have enough power. He's just not able to stretch it out. Giving it a great shot and a great run, but not quite able to get it up there into contention for the win. Looks like he's going to come in at about 210.
210.36 to be exact, and still the only one over 300 feet is Rodney Martin, 304.8, and he is the man to beat. As you see again, what you said, just not enough horsepower to get down this racetrack.
Now, he's giving it his best shot and really able to get it past the 200-foot mark, which is respectable. But, again, it's just not up there with the top contenders today, and it's a question of horsepower.
One of my favorites here, unnamed. Brett Berg. Let's give him a name.
Brett doesn't think he needs a name. He's going to let the pull-in sled hear from him without a name. He's just going to try and take it on out of here. Seriously, Brett Berg is one of the best in the business, so it'll be interesting to see if he can get up there in that 300-foot range to, you know, try and challenge Rodney Martin at this point in the game.
Hails from Farmington, Minnesota. Brett Berg trying to shoot for that mark of 300 feet. Let's see if he can get it.
Little bit of a spin at the starting line might cost him at the back end. Let's see. Not bad, but not good enough to be with the big boys. There it is, 265.86. Should be good enough for a top 4 or 5 finish, but it's not enough to make it up into the top spot.
Our unlimited dragster tractor pulls, and so far, Rodney Martin has been the fastest as we take a look again at Brett Berg in unnamed.
They're trying to find different lines, too. You know, a track will go away at different points, and that's going to continue to be in play. He tried to move a little bit further over than some of the other tractors. There may just not be a whole lot out there. Berg normally is among the best.
We've got a lot more here to come on TNN's Motor Madness Monster Jam. More pulling next.